the bailout of Wall Street. Barbara Boxer, Tom Campbell, and Carly Fiorina, who was the chief economic advisor to John McCain, they all supported the bailout of Wall Street. I did not. I wrote before the bailout that unless we dealt with Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac and the moral hazard generated by these two government-sponsored enterprises that allowed people to make money, to make bonuses, to make extra salary, and then transfer the risk of making that money to other people, that unless we fix that, we would not fix the underlying problem. Ladies and gentlemen, the Ombudsman, the watchdog appointed by Congress to report back on the financial bailout, reported back about 6 weeks ago. And you know what he said? Our financial system today is at greater risk because of the bailout. Greater risk because of the bailout. And so while I was writing against the bailout before it happened, Carly Fiorina, in her role with the McCain campaign, was on national television promoting it before the vote happened. Let me give you one more example if you're not yet convinced. Global warming, cap and trade, and AB 32, California's version of it. Barbara Boxer, Carly Fiorina, and Tom Campbell have all supported various cap and trade energy tax schemes. I have been in the forefront of attacking those schemes as based on faulty science and resulting in the impoverishment of Americans.
Take them down, Chuck! Take them down!
So now you know a little bit about the differences between me and my opponents. Now you might wonder, well, that's all well and good, Mr. DeVore, but we have been told for years that a principled, proven conservative cannot win in the very blue state of California. We've heard that. That's one of the reasons why we have Governor Schwarzenegger instead of Governor Tom McClintock. By the way, Tom McClintock has endorsed me. So, what do the polls say? Well, Rasmussen Reports came out with a new poll yesterday. And you may be shocked or you may be not shocked about this, but the poll showed that the moderate Silicon Valley former Congressman Tom Campbell is 2 points behind Barbara Boxer, within the margin of error. The same poll showed that former Hewlett-Packard CEO Carly Fiorina is 4 points behind Boxer, also within the margin of error. The same poll showed that Chuck DeVore, the proven conservative, is 3 points behind Barbara Boxer, within the margin of error.
Take her out!
That same poll showed that of the 3 Republican candidates, that I had 13% more positive than negative name ID. Carly Fiorina was +2 to my +13. If you think that's remarkable, maybe, just maybe, it's because in 2010, principles are back in fashion. Our campaign has now raised $1.8 million from over 24,000 individual contributors. That's what you call grassroots. Half of those contributors we've gotten through. Now, be quiet for a moment. Don't tell the press. Shh. We've gotten it from Al Gore's invention. That's right. We've been using electrons to raise money. And if you want to help our campaign, go to chuckdevore.com and sign up. Get our emails. Sign up. ask for a bumper sticker, sign up, make your own yard sign. You see, we have this wonderful technology that allows you to go to our website, and if you want, you can actually create your own yard sign to put out in front of your house. If you don't want to go to that expense and trouble, you can order one off our site and we'll send one to you for about 15 bucks. This is how we're going to beat Barbara Boxer, not with a bunch of overpaid consultants who don't believe in anything, not with a bunch of high-priced TV ads, but with your help, with the help of we the people. Because we've had it up to here and we're not going to take it anymore, right? Because we believe in liberty and freedom. We the people believe that the purpose of government is not to save us from our own stupidity and greed, but to secure our unalienable rights. God bless Oceanside. Thank you so much for coming out tonight.
Chuck DeVore, what's your website, please, Chuck?
ChuckDeVore.com. ChuckDeVore.com.
Oh, you're the first to hear it, folks. Chuck DeVore, I'm endorsing Chuck DeVore for U.S. Senate. So 2 endorsements, Jay Lesore, Chuck DeVore. You know, you got a question?
Not a question, a statement. You know we're going to be watching you. We're going to send your ass to Washington.
Absolutely. You watch all you want because I'm going to do exactly what you sent me to D.C. to do.
You got a question there?
Repeat the question.
All right. The question was asked that if I was a U.S. Senator and if he was a general, and if he said, "Sir, would I say back, call me Senator, I worked so hard for that title."
Great question.
Well, I've thought about that, sir. I tend to call people sir and ma'am all the time, by the way, because I had a drill sergeant that when I didn't do it properly, I had to drop and beat my face until he was tired of looking at me. So I'm used to calling people sir and ma'am. It's a sign of respect, and I've often thought that when I get into that debate with Barbara Boxer, all 4'11" and a half of her, that I'm going to call her ma'am throughout the entire debate.
I love it.
And if she asked me to call her senator, then I'm kind of thinking that maybe my comeback should be, "Well, ma'am, you can call me colonel because I worked a hell of a lot harder for that title than you worked for yours."
We got a question right here, and a microphone's right next to you, ma'am.
Your stance on illegal immigration and the border.
Your stance on illegal immigration and the border.
What's my stance on illegal immigration and the border? Well, first of all, I believe a virtual fence is virtually worthless. We need to complete a physical barrier on our southern border. It makes the jobs of our Border Patrol more safe. It keeps them more secure from cross-border attacks and people running back across, and it makes them far more effective. And Barbara Boxer has been flip-flopping on that issue year after year. Number 2, no amnesty. I believe that it is unfair. Now listen carefully, because this is how we can convince fellow Californians. I believe it is unfair to allow people who have been living here illegally to somehow jump in front of the line of people who are trying to follow the rules to get a green card, to come here legally and work and eventually become a citizen.